to the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast. It's the Dynasty Podcast with the league to follow along with. I'm Brett Steele, and joining me this week is the always zenful Matthew Smith.
Always. What's up, everyone?
All right. Jonathan Detroit Haynes could not make it. We'll get into that, the reason why, a little bit later. But it is a sad day in the River Rats, but we'll touch on that and later on as we get to the KDFL portion. But first, the NFL portion. Week 13 has come and gone, and a lot of ugly football that I'm looking at here. We can start on Thursday, though, because I have an interesting topic for you.
Hold on, quick thing. Before we start on this, can we talk like 5 minutes on reseeding in fantasy football playoffs?
I mean, we could get to it. We're going to get to it in the one portion. Oh, I'm always here for it. Always here for it. Let's start with the Seahawks and Cowboys. Geno lights up Dallas. QB2 on the week, 334, 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. He does have the 1 INT. But my main question for you, obviously DK Metcalf, the recipient of all 3 of those TDs. He had a humongous week. Jackson Smith-Njigba continues that little – he has had – let me just say this. And we'll go right into the Mega Powers players discussion, as always. He has had the most prototypical rookie wide receiver season that I can think of, where you start out nothing. He was even hurt. You start out nothing, and then a little bit, it's just like a steady – like it looks like an S&P 500 chart. Like it's just a steady over time rise. No huge explosion, not many huge explosion games. And here we are. Like we've been spoiled somewhat, I feel like, with the Chases and Jeffersons and even Pook at the beginning of this season, just absolutely going off. And Jigba's kind of, he's working his way in, I'm still a little nervous for the future because we don't know what Geno is and what's after him. And, how long Lockett's going to hold on and things like that. But I just thought it was interesting. Now, my main question for you, I think me and you have talked about this. Is Dallas gettable?
Are they what?
Gettable. Like, take
down? They're never, do we expect them, getting this later, if they're favored to win this matchup this coming week, but in the playoffs, do we really expect them to go into Philly or San Fran and beat either one of them?
I'm thinking a little bit bolder too. I'm thinking that week one, that first round, whoever it may be, because it's almost, well, now if they do get Philly, that brings Philly into play with this. But whoever, it can even still be Tampa. It could be New Orleans or it could be Atlanta. Going on the road now, I trust them to handle Tampa pretty, if that would happen. Now, New Orleans or Atlanta, I'm not being biased because I'm sitting here talking about New Orleans possibly getting the first round playoff win, which would absolutely disgust me.
Yeah.
But it just seems like one of those years right now, and maybe me speaking about it makes it not happen, because that's how things work. But it just feels like one of those years where everybody's written off that first round NFC South versus the 5th seed wild card matchup. Everybody's written it off. It's done. Dallas on to the next. We'll get Philly or we'll go to San Fran. But I think it could be, because it's going to be a weird game. The Falcons and Saints do nothing but play weird games. That's all they do.
They do.
So it's going to get weird. But this shows me Geno goes in there and lights you up like this. And obviously Diggs is out, so their secondary is not nearly what it was thought to be. But Geno goes in and lights you up like this. That's a little cause for concern to me.
Yeah, and you play against a better defense too, the Falcons. And
I
thought the Saints were better, but the Saints have been trash lately. So. After the first 7 minutes of last week against the Lions, they were actually pretty good, really good. Just that first.
We can move right to that. We can move right to that game. There's not much else on Thursday night. Dak and CeeDee Lamb continue to dominate. That's been absolutely on fire. Yeah. As we've said from I don't know how many episodes ago, the passing matchups for fantasy are great for Dak and CD going down, and is proving itself out. Let's go to that Lions Saints game. A weird start. Did they get on 21-0?
21-0 within with 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Right.
21-0.
We've talked about this with that Lions defense. This is the downfall. It's never over, especially halfway through the first. Like, it's never done. Like, I fully aware that the Saints were going to make a run at this and make this, a game again. It almost, the way that the Saints have been first half to second half as well, so they do make it a run. Carr gets speared through the earth, the most brutal act I've ever seen committed on a football field.
A clean hit, according to some.
According to some stubborn Raider fans.
Send W legend Bruce Irvin to jail.
Straight to jail right away. Straight to jail.
Derek Carr, is he out yet? I know Jameis Winston is he's projected points this week, but Carr usually does not miss.
Last time I had Carr as out, he played.
Yeah.
So let me see here. Derek Carr is going to have a queue. Last report's obviously questionable right now, so he's not officially out. And practicing limited capacity today.
Okay,
or yesterday, since this is obviously Thursday morning. Just 3 days removed from a stand concussion and additional injuries from the criminal Bruce Irvin. Carr was able to throw and sprint during the portion of Wednesday's session.
He's definitely playing.
Remains in the head injuries. The head injuries remain, but he remains in protocol for the head injuries, but feels pretty good with the other two health concerns. His availability is up to an independent neurologist.
See,
last time he was banged up, he had the bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been banged up.
He has been taking a beating this year.
I read, as the biggest Carr fan in the world, I have read that the offensive coordinator for the Saints is truly god awful. But
it's been a struggling offense. I mean, I know this is a different guy, but it's been a struggling offense since Breeze's arm died.
Yeah.
It's been Kamara.
Not good. So.
Yeah, and Thomas. For the longest.
Michael Thomas. Talking about your teammates in Twitter while the game is going on. Idiot.
He's always been a special one.
Saints got Panthers and Giants next. Then the Panthers and Giants. If they lose one of those, the season's over.
I'm telling you, it won't be over though. This season in this division is not gonna be over. It just won't end. It'll come down to the last week like it did last year. It's a bunch of ugly matchups. I'll be amazed if the Falcons, Saints, or even the Bucks get a 2-game lead at any point during this final. Falcons are technically up a game and a half right now on the Saints because of the win last week or 2 weeks ago. Yeah. So I would be amazed if one team gets a 2-game lead at any point. Okay. Now, on the Lions side, obviously the defense does what it has been doing, but Sam LaPorta has another outstanding game, goes for 9 catches, 140 yards, and a touchdown. He's absolutely on fire now. And obviously he's top 5 tight end, right? You would go Kelsey, Andrews, who am I missing? Hawkinson. I'm missing a big name. Porta.
See.
Great radio.
Hawkinson, Kelsey, LaPorta, George Kittle.
I think.
Top.
I'm talking about Kittle.
That's the top rankings right now. And Cole Kmet after that. Mark Andrews, because he's injured. He's further down. Trey McBride.
Trey McBride's been, he's coming along. Which that is, it takes the time to develop. Yeah, that definitely is Kittle that I was leaving out on accident. Now, we haven't done one this early yet, but we're already there because I know we talked about LaPorta a lot during the Bowers rookie discussion, but I'm approaching this from a little bit of a different perspective. So you have Sam LaPorta right now in your around 500 dynasty team, and you're being offered some players for him in a super flex. So let's put you on the hot seat. Let's start Let me go to view all on this so I can get everybody. So I make sure I know what I got going on if it goes to it. All right, let's start. The first one it has is Kyler Murray.
I hate trading away QBs, and I was thinking you were just giving me tight ends. I get thrown off every time.
You were going with your thing, yeah.
I hate getting rid of QBs in a 2 QB league, but
there's so much question marks in this trade. You don't even know what team Kyler will be on next year.
I know. I got to keep Kyler for now.
Well, you get Kyler, but yeah.
Yeah, I would get
you have LaPorta. All right, Olave. Olave's been on fire lately, by the way. Actually, very quietly on fire.
He has been very good. Yeah, after I questioned him and his character.
His character, you did go after the man's character.
I think I'm going to Olave. Oh God, I don't know.
This is what I'm trying to see. This is what I'm saying. Breece Hall.
I'm not trading away Breece if that was offered to me.
Yeah, see, that's a heartstrings. That's a heartstrings one right there.
I wouldn't do it though. So
okay,
I need Breece.
Devonta Smith.
Devontae's been pretty solid.
Devontae's been pretty solid. Yeah. I have a go. I would keep Devontae there. I mean, it's just the position for me.
Yeah, Devontae is like the 10th best wide receiver in the league, top 15. Yeah. I don't know what number he is right there.
I think he's 11. Or he's 12 and Nico's 11.
I'm going Devontae.
All right, let me try. I'm trying to get you to keep. All right, now I got you. I think you'll keep LaPorta. Puka Nacua.
Yeah, I'm keeping LaPorta.
Okay, all right.
Puka keeps proving me wrong.
That injury he had looked so bad. It looked like he was dead. I thought, well, that's the season. Walks off dangling his arm dangling like that. Nope, we're good. This rankings seem okay. I'm not even gonna bring that guy up. What about Jordan Addison?
I haven't watched Addison enough this year. I have not watched enough Vikings games this year to. I would go LaPorta here, but I haven't watched Addison enough to know.
I got you. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me get one more in there. Tank Dell. It's interesting.
He just broke his leg, didn't he? Yeah. That was a good play. I'm going LaPorta. I mean
that surprises me a
Texas,
little bit.
Every receiver has went off.
Mm-hmm.
Every receiver has went off.
It feels like you can't. It feels like you can't. They only had like one game with them all there. It feels like you haven't. Somebody's got to. All these mouths can't be fed consistently. I mean, if the Niners can't feed 3 miles like that consistently, Texans have a worse defense too. That's the thing. To keep them having to push the gas. My thing is, I thought this was more on a referendum on the position and not the player, because LaPorta is obviously great. I mean, he's looked very solid, but tight end, it feels like if you could cash that in for some high quality wide receivers, or in the super flex, a higher end quarterback like Kyler, I would probably lean towards doing that. But it's been a phenomenal start, and we would be remiss if we didn't say that LaPorta is going to lose his play caller. So, I mean, shout out. We can't go an episode without mentioning our boy Benny JoJo Johnson, baby. All right. Who knows what's in store?
Is it Goff's contract year?
Yeah. This was my whole thing. We were going to see a lot more Hendon Hooker, and which he's back.
Yes.
Remember he was the Brett Steele of the draft on commentary that night.
Yep.
The Brett Steele of the draft. All right. Jared Goff's contract next year is his final year. Unrestricted free agent in 2025. Yeah, he has his dead next now. Year. Oh, this is what it was. Here's what you're thinking of. This year he had a dead cap hit of $36 million. His dead cap hit next year goes down to $5 million. So in the event that he was absolutely bombed this year, which obviously absolutely has not happened, they had an easy out. They're not going to take that out now, I wouldn't think. So you got one more year of.
I still struggle with LaPorta, and I drafted the guy, Dalton Kincaid. I don't know that I'm making that trade right now. With the Dalton Kincaid owner.
If you could guarantee me no more Dawson Knox, because he's coming back.
Yeah, Dawson Knox. Yeah, he's coming back, but I don't know. I don't know what situation I'd rather be.
That's a coin flip almost to me, because the defenses haven't been. But see, the Bills could have a better defense. I mean, we're splitting hairs. We're just trying to find something.
The Bills got a lot of playmakers too.
Yeah,
and Dawson Knox is a big issue right now.
I think neither side's doing that trade. I think they're just both staying put. Yeah, especially if you would assume in this scenario both teams drafted them, and both teams in their own got it right, to put in quotes right now. So yeah, I would think both teams stay put, because I'm looking at I'm doing the same stupid thing. Like I feel like I'm doing like the Kobe thing with, remember the respect Jordan's 6, respect LeBron's 4, respect my 5. I feel like I'm doing that with like, what about Trey McBride, guys? He's up there. He's looking good, huh?
Would you trade Trey McBride right now for Sam LaPorta?
No, because it's a dumb hard. I don't know. I probably would. Yeah, I probably would, but it'd be tough. Just to get younger. But the thing is, like,
young.
He is, but it's not
like a third year.
It's his third year. Let me find old Trey. The thing is, 20. Yeah. Oh, he's been on absolute fire.
The parts of that Cardinals and Steelers game I was watching, it seemed like the only person Kyler threw to was Trey McBride.
Trey McBride's just a year older. Yeah. But again, you draft him because Kyler, he lit up Ertz.
Yeah.
So I knew and it was like sitting on this for so long, for 3 years, like waiting on this to actually finally happen. And it's happened. So it'd be hard to move off of him. But I mean, you would cash that in for LaPorta right now. I mean, it's not some huge thing, but I mean, the LaPorta owner absolutely would not do that. So okay. See, I love it. I love those debates so much. Okay, so there's Lions and Saints. Real quick, this is actually going to be the shortest time we talk about. The Falcons-Jets might have been the ugliest collective game of a Falcons game that I told you this. I think I texted you the day of during the game. I think it's the ugliest collective game from both sides that I've ever watched as a Falcons fan. That's a long, brutal history of watching games. I think about the Giants and Falcons 28-2, ironic playoff game, but at least the Giants looked good. This was just ugly all around. And the whole Ritter Heineke, I don't care whichever one. Ritter's younger, so put him in there. I wish he should run more. That drives me nuts. Please run. Just don't fumble, but please run more. Like this next week, he needs to run against Tampa because he beat him with his legs in Tampa, but fumbled 3 times this season.
And there's who started for the Jets that game? Tim Boyle did, right?
Tim Boyle. We retired him.
And now he's now a free agent.
He's gone. We killed Tim Boyle.
He is gone. How often does that happen in the league?
To be gone on Tuesday after you played. Yeah. It was quite bad. It was quite bad. 24 straight quarters for the Falcons without giving up a touchdown. No, that's can't be right. 24 straight possessions. 24 straight quarters in 6 games. 24 straight possessions.
Yes. Yeah.
It's been half a season since I gave up a touchdown.
Just started the greatest defense.
24 quarters. All right. You hit on the I'm not talking about Chargers Patriots. That's brutal.
I mean, just have to talk about how great.
Go ahead.
212 passing yards, 0 touchdowns.
He has absolutely no what.
He has Keenan Allen and Austin Eckler.
Yeah. Oh, Austin. Yeah.
the great Quentin Johnston, Gerald Everett.
Yes. Go ahead, Phil. Keep reading the line.
How? I mean, the Patriots have not good though. What is the Patriots?
Their defense is good.
It hasn't been
and the
good
weather
since
is bad. And the weather was bad too.
The defense has not been good since they've had injuries.
Like in redraft, I started Howell over Herbert this week just because I knew the weather and the matchup and no weapons.
I guess they've been better the past few weeks, but they lost to the Saints 34-0. Raiders put up 21. Dolphins won 31-17. Commanders put up 20. Chargers only putting up 6 points. Great stuff.
We need to all take a minute and understand that we did 20 years of this Patriots dynasty. You need to take, this is like appreciating the good times. Like they're so bad and awful. We should not let up. We should continue to mock this franchise for the state of disrepair it is in. I'm sure all the bandwagon fans have left by now. Yeah.
You stopped.
They're on the Kansas City.
Yeah, they are. Yes.
Let's see. Colts. Michael Pittman is having a fantastic year. That it's not being. He's pretty quiet. I think pretty quiet. Good year. He loses. Which I don't know if that's really a loss. Anthony Richardson based on what Richardson was going to do for value, but Michael Pittman, I believe, is a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Let me see.
He's got 87 catches, 889 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's wide receiver 11. I'm sorry, I misspoke earlier. Nico and Devontae are 12 and 13. So Pittman's number 11. He had that streak of 7 straight catches. Oh, it is only 3 games for 7 straight catches, but he's back on again with the last 5 games, 8 catches, 10, 11. So he's absolutely been on fire. He's only had 1 game in single digits of fantasy this year. So he's just been so consistent. And I feel like it's went kind of under-repped. Garter is a right type of quarterback that can keep him, he doesn't kill his value. Wanted to hit on beautiful Michael Pittman. You hit on Cardinals Steelers. That was pretty nasty. We lose Kenny.
Yeah, every week. He's out for how long though?
Man, the Steelers are gonna miss. Yeah.
But they well, I don't know. He got out pretty early, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in pretty early.
But they're gonna miss his 212 and 2 or 1 every week. Yeah. 212 and 1.
Somehow winning.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you want to talk? Would you have on MVP? Because I'm hitting the Dolphins and Commanders right now. Do we want to jump to that?
Dolphins, Commanders. I know other people are talking about other podcasts are talking about current MVPs, such as Brock Purdy leading the way. But I was looking at fantasy football MVPs this year. And speaking of the Dolphins, the number 1 fantasy football player, this is KDFL scoring. So it's a little different than other leagues. But number 1 person in the league is obviously who?
Tyreek.
Points was who?
Tyreek. It's got to be Tyreek.
Yes, Tyreek Hill. 317 points.
Yeah.
But out of the top 10, some of them are obvious. The others are not. Any idea who number 2 is?
Are we overall
overall points? Fantasy football MVP this year.
Well, it's got to be a quarterback. Who? I would think. I'll go Hurts. He struggled though.
Jalen Hurts is number 4. Number 2 is Josh Allen. Number 3.
That would be a little under-repped.
Number 3.
Number 3. That's got to be CMC. It's got to be CMC.
CMC with 2. Josh Allen has 298 points. CMC 295. Jalen Hurts 293. The other quarterback's next.
This has got to be. Yeah, it's got to be my boy. It's got to be my boy on this run we've been having. Dakota Rain.
Yes, Dak Prescott.
Dakota Rain Prescott. Yeah.
Next is a wide receiver. I would have never gotten this.
AJ Brown. You would have gotten that.
No, he's not on the top 11. He's like 12 or 13, I think.
It's not CD.
Nope. CD
Right, who is it?
is next.
All
Keenan
right, who is it?
Allen. 200 and
Still?
Keenan Allen,
I'm tired of
267
this.
points.
I'm tired of Keenan. I'm tired of it, dude. It doesn't
I
look
don't get
good.
it.
It's,
Yeah, he sucks. He's
it's not
terrible.
flashy. CD's flashy. AJ Brown is loud and flashy. And so I'm tired of this. Tyreek Hill, obviously,
Allen just
flashy.
reminds me. Yeah, Keenan Allen just reminds me of the St. Albans Sinners team. Like, should not be good.
He's not even a center.
Get out of here. I know.
Right,
Just saying.
right.
Get out
I get
of
what
here.
you're saying.
You're not fantasy relevant. You're dead.
He is fancy.
How old is Keenan Allen? He's got to be 30 something. They're at least 30. At least 30.
Yeah. Because
CeeDee Lamb is next, though. QB after that. 2 QBs, 3 QBs, 4 QBs after that.
He's 31.
He named QB.
Another. I obviously would not know this one. What QB is this?
QBs?
It's after Keenan. See,
It's
Stroud has to be up there somewhere because of the yards.
Stroud's next. Here's Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Dak Prescott, CJ Stroud, and then becoming the greatest QB of all time,
Sam Howell,
MVP favorite, Brock Purdy.
Okay. Who is your actual MVP right now?
For fantasy or real?
No, regular.
I think it's got to be CMC. I don't understand why it's CMC has driven that team.
But they don't do that though.
They don't give a shit. Why does it matter if they don't do that? It's not a quarterback league. It's not a quarterback award. Why does it have to be a quarterback award? I think if you're going to give it to a non-QB, this is a year to do it. None of the QBs have absolutely went.
I would agree with that, and I would also agree if Tyreek gets his 2,000, you got to do it.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. Tyreek has.
No man, it calls his shot like that. Calls his shot like that at the very beginning of the season, and is actually. I mean, he's not. It's not a crazy to think he's 500 yards away.
I would love for CMC.
But the thing is, their schedule sucks at the end. Like the Dolphins, they're so Tennessee, that's a good one. All right, he's gonna get Sauce Gardner in week 15, then Dallas, then Baltimore. That's a tough defense, and then Buffalo a little bit easier now. But I could guarantee you, if he's got it within reach on week 18, well, he'll still go out there, right? Even if they got something locked up.
I don't know though, injuries, but I think he would. If he's at like 1,900 yards,
I just feel like you could see that debate. Selfish. Our season was on. We had a great season going. You did this to us.
To finish this real fast, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Justin Herbert, the legend.
How you gloss over him? How you gloss over the Herbster?
And then Sam Howell. That is your top 11 fantasy football MVPs this year, based on points alone.
Yeah, but I consider the MVPs like.
Yeah.
Outperforming.
Like Sam Howell right here.
Sam Howell, CJ Stroud.
Stroud.
A great one. Brock, yeah. Brock's a great one. Mike Evans. Another great one.
I know. Mike Evans. Yeah, he's been.
Because he was left for dead. Do I have this right? I'm looking at it now, actually. Jordan Love? Is that not Jordan Love? Is not low. His last 3 games, 23, 30, 27.
Jordan Love?
Jordan Love QB9 on the season.
Well, yeah, we didn't discuss this last week. Did the Lions and Packers play the week before? Anyway, it might have been last week or the week before.
Yeah,
I
Thanksgiving.
wanted to ask the question. We never got to it because Detroit wouldn't stop talking about his Detroit Lions. I wanted to, just joking and kidding. I wanted to discuss who would you rather have as your QB for Dynasty, Jordan Love or Jared Goff? I don't know. And this has been another week of it happening. I wanted to ask Detroit. didn't get to it. It's who?
Oh my
Love?
God. Does it not have to
I
be
had it on
Love?
my notes and I didn't ask it because I
See,
think
we
we
have
went
the
too long.
hindsight of another good game, which matters right now.
Yeah.
Because he didn't
Against
have
the
that if you
Chiefs.
would have asked him last week. Yeah, against the Chiefs, and we've talked about the Chiefs defense.
Yep.
That seems. Let me see here. Let me see what it says for it because I'm just curious. Right now. Yeah, he's ranked higher.
Says.
Yeah, he's ranked.
Then
You would if you offer that straight up, it wants the side getting Jared Goff to ask for a little bit more.
Yeah, so that's
so it favors Jordan Love in that.
I don't think people would have said this 8 weeks ago.
The 4 years apart.
8 weeks ago, what would that have been?
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel like the national mood a little bit has started to shift towards more. Can we stop killing these guys a few games in?
Yeah.
Can we stop? I mean, not to be a homer about it, but we've given old Desmond more slack than the third round pick as ever. so yeah, I like the sentiment seems to be to let these guys go longer.
This is Desmond's second year, right?
Yeah. I'm just talking about the starts and how it's looked in those starts. Like it's been multiple weeks where, I mean, seriously, any other QB could have started and we win that game. So, yeah, that is interesting because he's got the young core. Golf has a young core too. He has St. Brown and LaPorta.
Yep. Gibbs. You
just I don't know. That's interesting. I want the comments and our league mates as well to sound off.
Yeah.
If you would be doing that, hey, that's a River Rat and Renegade trade that can happen. All right. just like we called the bluff with Jameson Williams for a first round pick. This one as well. It can happen. Say the word. All right. Yeah. Go ahead. Let's get to. Yeah, I just had Tyreek going crazy. Tyreek going crazy. That was just the MVP conversation. Achane has another great game. I think he's just gonna be in your lineup, obviously, and you're probably gonna have some wild dips with him, but you're just gonna have to buckle in. That's just how that goes down. With Tank Dell going down in the Texans and Broncos, Nico kind of exploded, especially later on in that game. He goes for 191 and 1 on 9 catches. Which would you rather have, Nico or Tank Dell?
How old is Nico? He's pretty young.
Nico's in here. Nico, hey, look, this isn't a Mega Powers podcast, but that McBride Nico draft with Josh Palmer in between them. Hey,
yeah, Nico's 24.
Nico's 24, and Tank Dell's older too, though. Yeah, 24.
Oh yeah, I gotta go Nico.
You would go Nico?
I think so.
I think I would go Tank Dell.
When that Nico's like ridiculous this year. Are they even close in stats?
Yeah, I think. All right.
Listen to my voice. 990 yards, 6 touchdowns. Tank Dell.
709
yards, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a toss-up.
Nico missed week 6 and didn't record a catch in this one. That was a nasty looking injury too, by the way. I think you already said that earlier. But didn't Nico miss as well? Yeah, Nico missed week 10. I thought he missed a game. So they both missed a game. Well, you would consider Tank Dell as missing 2 now, since he didn't do anything. He didn't get a chance to do anything.
He's available. The great Noah Brown.
Yeah.
He went off for a couple weeks and then he got injured.
I mean, it would make sense that he's going to be next up.
Yeah.
Let's see. Panthers Bucks. We hit on Mike Evans on that. That's all good. Hubbard has a big game with 2 touchdowns, 104. But I mean, that's just going to be your playoff filler, Hubbard, right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not going to be pretty. It's going to be, take your medicine type start. I don't really care much about Rams and Browns, except for the fact that Puka did look good. Stafford looked good with 279-3.
Great job, Flacco.
Joe Flacco didn't look bad.
He didn't look bad. I don't know. Yeah, he didn't look bad at all. He hasn't played for how long now?
It's been
He was on the Jets last year.
Right. Last year. Yeah, didn't play the second. I don't think the Browns season's dead now. I thought it was dead.
No, but I do think the Browns lost, the Steelers lost, setting up for the team that I said could win the Super Bowl last week.
The Bills?
Yes, the Bills.
I mean, it is quite literally the team I picked to win the Super Bowl. So I don't know where this boasting is coming from.
I made the bet last week that they were going to win.
Quite literally the team 14 weeks ago that I picked.
I made the bet last week. Plus 4,000 odds because Florida doesn't get
it. Wasn't 4,000 when I said, so that's true. That's true. It wasn't plus 4,000 when I said it. So that's true.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big one. Niners just poured on the Eagles. There's actually not a ton. What?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
I know what you're thinking about. Yeah. Niners poured on the Eagles. Purdy, I mean, it just is. He just is. I mean, the idea. Look back now. Look back on our discussing. Should they give this job back to Lance? Should he? I mean, he's come back. He's the third overall pick. Look how dumb that looks in hindsight right now. To think that over. I mean, the guy, and I am so tired of. But it feels like we're swinging. I'm so tired of the system stuff. Like I don't see it as much now either. Like it feels like everybody. It feels like we're fighting with. I mean, if you are a Niners fan, you probably see it more. Just like you see Raiders stuff more, I see Falcons stuff more, and everybody's like, "What are you talking about, dude? Nobody's saying this." Like, I don't see it. Like, it feels like everybody's just a straw man. Like, everybody's just arguing or yelling about stop calling him assistant. Who's doing it then? If people keep saying stop calling him assistant quarterback, who's the person doing that? Like, only assistant quarterback now. Of course, every MVP has great players around him, and he just looks like it's another level right now. Debo putting his money where his mouth is, absolutely incredible as well.
But every team has playmakers, but the 49ers have. I don't know, Brock Purdy has been really good. Really good. Yeah. But the playmakers on those 49ers are ridiculous.
Well, when I started to hear the yards after catch argument, I was like, well, now we're done. Now we've gone now we've gone like you can't. Yeah. Who's doing that with a straight face? Because also part of the quarterback, now I'm fighting the straw man. You hear me right now? Now I'm fighting the straw man. Part of the quarterback's job is to put in a place where a wide receiver can get yards after catch. So that's not
how
necessarily.
How many games did Debo miss this year?
At least 3,
They've lost
because the 3-game stretch was awful.
I'd say they've lost at least 2 games when he wasn't playing. I just wonder how they would be if CMC missed. How good would they be if CMC missed a game?
Well, see, we've done this before because they got so far before they even got him. Debo missed. I'm going to say, I can't remember the Cardinals game, but I'm sure something happened to him for him to only have 0.6 points on that game. And then he missed 2. He missed week 7 and week 8. So maybe he just got blanked against the Cardinals. That seems like a ridiculous thing to have happened. So I'm going to go with the fact that he probably got banged up early in that game.
Yeah.
I
mean, Purdy has been great, though, but I still think CMC is the MVP of that team because he has been the absolute workhorse. He's out rushing every running back in the league by like 200 yards. Like he's on a whole nother level compared to the rest of the league.
Well,
compared to the rest running backs,
it's a similar thing you can do with Tua and Tyreek, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, Tua has
295 points. Raheem Mostert is second with 214. It's not close at all.
No. But there's the other flip side. I mean, what if Darnold's in there? Now I'm starting to think you throw Darnold in there.
System quarterback.
Yeah, I'm thinking if you put Darnold in there, it goes to hell in a handbasket. Like it's not going to be good.
I don't know, but did Darnold play a game? He did, right? Wasn't Brock Purdy in concussion protocol? Did he?
No, he came back. Remember, he was the first one to come back.
Or he came back.
He was the first one to come back within the same week. Yeah, well, he just wrote it off
because he was afraid that Darnold would take his job. That's why he came back.
We're good. Early. I think we're solidified. Like we said that I think it was 2 weeks ago. The Niners' only competition is the Eagles and injuries, and right now the Eagles don't look like it.
No, they don't.
But this happens though, because this is still setting up to possibly end up in Philadelphia and in the playoffs and all that jazz. So, but obviously you're flying high right now as a fan of the Niners. Oh, that was irony. That was on accident. The flying high. Oops, that was a mistake.
After this game, I was looking at Super Bowl odds now. There's only, according to Vegas, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams that realistically have a shot, maybe 6 teams if you look at the odds. San Fran plus 300, Philly 600, Kansas City 500, Baltimore 700, Miami 800, Dallas 800. And then a decent drop, Detroit 1,600, Jacksonville 2,000. And then after that, it's the Bills at 4,000. So any dark horse that I did not name? Falcons, Saints?
No, I'm not going there. The dark horse that you did not name that I could see. I mean, that you did not name. It's a dark horse, so everybody don't freaking lose your mind on me. But the Browns in that defense, it's a historic defense. The Browns defense is a historic defense.
I did not name the Bills there. I mean, based on I think the Bills are clearly the obvious team, but
well, yeah, you named them in the list you just did, or else I would really say.
But I mean, that's the huge drop off. Jags plus 2,000, Bills 4,000.
Browns, I guess, right? The defense, you're never out. Yeah. I just picked Joe Flacco, the dark horse wins the Super Bowl. Is that what happened?
I'm just looking. I mean, the Rams, I'm very doubtful, but
the Rams is a good one. Packers? No, I can't do Packers.
I mean, 6-6.
Texans. I mean, we're just naming teams now.
But out of what about teams,
the Chargers, baby? They're not done yet. The Chargers aren't technically done yet.
Oh my god! Sure, you bet all your money on them. If you had to put all your money, it's 49ers. I'm guessing that's who you're picking.
Yeah, it just feels like something always happens. It just feels like something happens. Something always happens. Also, like it's not. This isn't even a Niners thing. How often does the most dominant team in Week 13 go on to do it?
True.
It's just something. And they've been pretty much dominant for all but 3 weeks. They've been the most dominant team.
It better not be the damn Chiefs. Better not be. I still think for whatever reason Philly's winning the NFC.
It's not a crazy thing. I mean, this happens.
That dropped massively. The odds had to have dropped massively for the Philly right there compared to last week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get to see it, like all this talk for so long. But I mean, the Niners, we tried to shift it a little bit with our mindsets about, the Eagles being like tired of hearing the what ifs, but it was the Niners just had so much built up stuff for this game and the execution. I mean, you trust Shanahan so far beyond Sirianni. Like it's not even, it just feels like Sirianni. It just feels like I'm coaching in Philadelphia. I'm going to just be this Philadelphia guy. Like, I'm just going to do this stuff. It's like, I got to see where he's actually, it's not the same, but it just made me think of, he's New Yorker, so, but it made me think of, what is his daggone name? LSU head coach.
Coach O?
No, not Coach O, not Coach O. What the heck? Brian Kelly. Why the hell did I blank on Brian Kelly? It just makes me think of him going down to Louisiana and all of a sudden having his Cajun accent.
Yeah.
Like if he was in Green Bay, Sirianni would just love cheese. It would just be the biggest dairy supporter. Let's check it out for him. Say he was getting beat up, and then here we go, leveling more shots. Anything else from the beautiful NFL? I mean, we got something else.
No,
Where the hell are the carts in Jacksonville?
Jackass is like Colin Cowherd, freaking clown. Saying the Jags are Mickey Mouse.
Hey, they did say bring him to Orlando, which I was kind of pumped about.
Jackass. I like Cowherd, but I couldn't listen to that rant for longer than 20 seconds. Yeah, there was a cart. Those refs in general. So, Adam Schefter was talking about it on McAfee show the other day, just saying how the refs were terrible now. The refs were terrible in the Jags and Bengals game. I think just overall, that holding call in overtime. Did they talk about that on the broadcast?
Yeah, I did not hear it on
Calvin Ridley, the overtime catch.
Yeah,
they would have been at the 2-yard line. They called holding.
Yeah,
awful. And then, but then Ridley, I don't know. Ridley was playing well. Just I don't know. He got held multiple times too, and of course they showed it on the replay multiple times. When that stuff does happen, the refs weren't calling anything. But the Bengals, the Jags defense was terrible. If they play like that, they're getting bounced early in the playoffs. The defense couldn't stop. I always forget his name. Jake Browning.
Jake Browning. It's going to be a lot of eyes on him to see was this like legitimate? The Bengals are not dead, or is this the Jags defense just gave up? Because we saw, in person, we saw them give it up to San Francisco, get dominated through the air.
Chase just unbelievable. Live.
Yeah.
That stupid touchdown too.
I was going to ask you, was that touchdown running towards you?
Yep, it was right in front of
me. I knew it was because of the anger. I knew the anger means that you, because Kittle's was towards us as well, was it not? Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yes,
yep, it was.
So you saw.
I hate them. I hate them both.
The field goal was away from you. The game-winning field goal was away from you, right?
Yes, it was.
Okay, because I always know you're facing the Jag on the left side if you're looking at the field. So I always remember where that's at.
Wow, yeah. And then I got set in traffic for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's
actually, so got home at 1:45 a.m. after a loss. Great time.
Hey, look, let's put it on the couch for a second here, because last year you got, and it was a little mixed emotions, but you got the comeback win against the Raiders. If you're coming from a Jags fan, let's just say the Cowboys pick six win, the Ravens amazing game.
Chargers playoff.
And then you got the Chargers playoff comeback. So, I mean, okay, a little bit of wider finance level here. The Jags have not been good at home at all this season.
No, they've been terrible.
I went to 2 home games and saw 12 points, 4 field goals is what I saw.
The offense was playing well. The defense, I still think Peterson's too conservative at times, though. Like 4th and 1, don't even think about it and just punt it immediately on the 50 when your defense cannot stop a damn thing. And then Trevor going down. Good God, that's like somebody getting shot in the stadium with the.
I bet you the air just goes out.
Oh, it's terrible. The second he collapsed, like, oh my God.
The helmet. Okay, I said this in the Discord chat. The helmet throw. Look, man, if you're gonna toss the helmet, you better be done for the year.
I love tossing the helmet.
I like it from a care and a passionate standpoint. But I said, oh no, he tossed his helmet. It's over. And if you do it while you're on the field, you're probably out for multiple years, I would imagine. If you do it while you're still on the field, because the Bengals guy tried to help him up, and he got up for a second and then goes right back down. But I love the clip of him. I just saw it before we came on, of him talking about, look, I refused the cart. Of course, we have carts. What are we talking about? I refused the cart, and I got to the tunnel and said, it was like I've made a terrible mistake gif. This tunnel was way longer than I anticipated.
All right. Those tunnels are pretty dark too.
Yeah. And he said, what did he say? I didn't know there'd be a camera there. There's a camera everywhere. So, all right. Anything else from NFL? We covered the Packers and Chiefs with talking about Jordan Love. Not much out there, but anything else from the NFL overview?
I wish the Eagles security guard would have beat up Greenlaw. It would have been funny.
I didn't have audio with that where I was watching it, and I was like, what the hell is happening right now? Like, I couldn't make sense.
Loving that guy. When he got ejected, the fans erupted. Like, this is
apparently
awesome.
That is a very popular guy among the Eagles fan base. He's well known. Dom. He's well known. Of course.
I mean, does every team have a guy like that? Never seen.
I would say.
You just beat the crap out
usually of them. They're not. Yeah, usually they're not ejected in the middle of a game.
Yeah.
Apparently amends were made there as well, from what I understand, with the Niners and Eagles over that. All right. Are you ready to switch it up to KDFL?
No. We have the feature.
Oh my God. Why'd you let me keep rambling about these stupid things if we still got to do the rookie? Go ahead.
It won't be that long.
We set a target of under an hour show this time, since it's just us, and we are going to fly by that. So take it away. The rookie segment.
2023 QB. This is another quarterback.
QB this might be it for me.
Dynasty. I gotta find the rankings for the QB keepers. It will load. But anyway, I figured since the Heisman ceremony is this Monday night, we should showcase the quarterback that is most likely going to be the 2023 Heisman QB winner. Do you know who this is? You got to know who this is.
I talked about him last week. I said I want this to be the Falcon. Is it Jaden Daniels?
Yes, it is. And I was reading something that I don't think the Falcons are going to do it. The Raiders, if they do not trade up for Caleb, which I still think they might trade up, Jaden Daniels is their guy. I was watching some highlights earlier. He is definitely Lamar Jackson. He's Lamar Jackson's child. Watching those highlights, you
sure the Raiders should take a quarterback, a big time quarterback from LSU? You know, I think you should.
He's not a fat piece of crap that likes the purple drink.
Jesus Christ.
Like 6'4", 210 pounds. Season stats this year: 3,812. This is all passing yards. I'm almost 99% sure. 3,812 yards, 40 touchdowns, 95.7 QBR, and he has 10 rushing touchdowns. I don't know what the yards, but he's got a ton of yards too. This is Tim Tebow numbers.
Great. We lead into the NFL discussion. Go ahead.
It is, but there is concern. There will be. He's a dual threat playmaker using a cheat code. Compare him to Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields, but the development is a concern. He needs some patience. He's some of my scouting report. He'll drop his eyes to run quickly, and his reads against zone looks are not crisp.
Is that what you've seen on the film you've watched?
However, his playmaking might win him the Heisman Trophy for good reason, and his upside is that of a league-winning quarterback. So,
damn it,
your guy goes to the Atlanta Falcons or Las Vegas Raiders in this comparison, in this scenario. Let's just imagine those two teams that he's going to for our sake.
All right, for the heartstrings.
Starting at number 14, I'll do 14 and 13 together. Justin Fields and Dak Prescott.
You hit me with a hammer. Okay, first off, two of those are guys I thought remember to the Falcons, and one of them is the mega power, the joy of the mega powers. So what the heck is happening right now? Okay. I would take him over Fields.
Okay.
I would keep Dak, and I would keep
Dak is old. This is dynasty.
He is not that old, people. He is 31.
He's retiring next year.
Oh God, this is the trade discussions with the Kings. The Kings had him on his deathbed.
I would 100% take him over Dak. Most likely over Justin Fields.
Yeah. What about Murray?
I would take him over Murray too.
I wouldn't take him over Murray.
Yes.
I've seen it with
Brock
Murray.
Purdy.
No, I can't. I gotta take Purdy right now. Okay, we're not fighting this anymore. We're not doing this.
I'm taking Jaden. Screw you, Purdy fans. Give me Jaden.
I mean, it's just not
Trevor Lawrence.
I'll take Trevor.
I'm taking Trevor. Anthony Richardson, which I think is complete BS that he is ranked number 9 on this list.
I'm taking. I mean, I don't care about landing spot because I know where Richardson is, and I trust that coach. I think Shane Steichen's a phenomenal. I'm taking Richardson, and he's younger, way younger.
By the way, isn't Jaden Daniels? Not way younger than Jaden Daniels.
He's a year younger, and he's already been in the league a year.
Has he? He's been in the league for 3 games, and he's been injured.
Isn't here? Yeah, he's a year younger.
Anthony Richardson's 20. Say Jaden's 23 something. How old is Jaden?
22.
Okay, Anthony Richardson's 22.6 years old.
He's 21. Yeah.
He's 22.6. I'm looking at it.
Anthony Richardson is 21 years old.
It says he's 22.6.
I don't know what you think is saying. He's May 22nd, 2002.
Yeah.
How's that for data? Or take that for data.
I got it. Damn it.
Your scouting report.
This is according to this website. Yeah, he's 21. So Jaden is. If there's now a question this entire website.
Does he really suck against zone? He might not. What if he's good?
This is a different website. Don't worry.
Wikipedia doesn't even have his birthday. Wikipedia doesn't have his actual.
23. He's gonna be 23 and 12.
That's what I thought. He's gonna be 23. Yeah, he's old.
Old man. Old man.
He's only 7 years younger than Dak, who you already put in the grave.
I don't understand why this website would lie about Anthony Richardson.
I don't know. The internet's usually so truthful.
Tua.
Who? Tua?
I'm keeping Tua.
Wait. Yeah, Tua. Yeah. I don't love it.
Joe Burrow.
I think we're at the end.
I agree. CJ Stroud.
Oh, well, you tell me Lamar though, because I gotta get my Lamar hate in. I don't know. CJ Stroud.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you see, like you get these guys get the benefit of having seen it. They get the benefit of having seen it.
Lamar.
And 1 year wonder doesn't happen with a pocket passer. Like if he was running and doing this, then like if Richardson tore it up with his legs, then like Fields, for example, that you can worry about 1 year wonder. A pocket passer, I don't worry about the 1 year wonder stuff as much.
I just have to hate him.
And Jaden Daniels is a 0 year wonder right now, just for the record.
Lamar Jackson for the 10th.
Yeah, Lamar. Yeah, I don't like it.
I like Lamar.
I just think we're going to wake up one day and he's just going to be gone. You know what happened to Lamar? Where'd he go?
Herbert, Josh Allen, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of them. I look at you. Look at those eyes. Think about Herbert. Look at those eyes.
Due to my hate of Justin Herbert, if we were in a startup draft, dynasty draft,
that's fair.
Justin Herbert pass, and I'm taking.
I like that. I like that breakdown because I'm thinking the same way as Lamar. Like I'll get value in that round from another position, and I'll wait on Jaden. Yeah, I like that. That's a better synopsis of what because you just sound.
I mean, you would kind of have to know. You would kind of have to know when they're expected to fall too, but. Right. I would like to take my chances on drafting Jaden Daniels later and somebody else reaches for Herbert earlier. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, number 1 in Dynasty. Mahomes, 2. I guess Hurts is number 1 consensus. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, until they ban that push.
Yeah, God. If they ban it, then what?
No, he just does too much. He just does too much on the ground. I mean, it's not a blowaway number 1. Like we've said about before, like we're getting later in the season. So it's like I said about before, it's just Mahomes gives you such a better floor now. But I mean, Hurts does too with the running, but it just you're never going to have a 150 and 2 or 1 and 225 game from Mahomes.
I don't mean to stay on this for long, but just looking at these rankings, the poor guy of Bryce Young. He is ranked 20th. Guys that are currently above him: Geno Smith, Sam Howell, Deshaun Watson, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, and everybody that I just mentioned. All above the first pick overall this year, Bryce Young. Geno in Dynasty.
Yeah, that's the only one. That's the only one that stuck out to me. And Hal.
Like
Hal's been great. We have the contract. I'm thinking about their situations. Like Watson they're just going to keep throwing him out there. Which, by the way, the visual of Joe Burrow on the field, in his sweats and like being part of the game and everything, while you have Watson in the booth with like the Ferrari jacket on and stuff with this girl and everything, it just looks so bad comparatively. Like every move he makes, this guy was the nicest guy ever when he came into the league and just went full heel turn. I don't understand it.
Was Burrow on the field the whole time? I took that picture. I saw him. Like, I had a good picture.
So. I saw, at least during the end. I mean, I saw him.
Okay, he was out there while they were practicing, like 30 minutes before the game. Yeah. So, but I didn't see him. I didn't look for him on the sideline when the game started. All right, so Jaden Daniels above everyone.
If he goes to the Falcons, I don't do homer picks. I really don't. But I've liked him in college.
I'm starting to question this thing because the guys that aren't as active in this league. Oh, Jaden Daniels. Let me write this guy down. Never heard of him. I'm gonna add it to my piece of paper. The Kings.
I think
old piece of paper.
I think shout out to the piece of paper, the legendary piece of paper. I don't think we're gonna hide the Heisman Trophy winner in the draft.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think it might be a tough set. If he holds on. All right, are we ready for KDFL?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's do the week 13 recap, and then we'll do some stuff before we get into week 4 results. Matthew Smith.
All right.
Take it away.
Week 13. We start out week 13 with the Florida hot Melbourne Mega Powers traveling to the St. Albans Centers. Dak Prescott continues his MVP-esque season for the Mega Powers, scoring 31 points, while the legend Nico Collins puts up 34 points. Meanwhile, the Centers are led by Mr. Consistency, Mike Evans, with 31 points, and the great playoff-bound Gardner Minshew, some would say Colts QB controversy brewing, ? Scoring 21 points. However, Ramondre Stevenson gets injured, scoring 3 points, and Mr. Unlimited Russell Wilson was quite limited this week with 14 points. Mega Power stay hot, winning this one 274-240, going 6-7 now, and winning 6 out of their last 7. The Centers fall. Hopefully they get a little better before the playoffs. They fall to 9-4.
All right, we had the Hurricane next, where the 6-6 Wampus Cats are taking on the 4-8 Lumberjacks. And as we already mentioned, for the 50th time on this podcast, Mr. Sam LaPorta leads the way for the Lumberjacks with 29 points, and his DK Metcalf's 3-touchdown performance that gets the Wampus Cats on the board. He scores 38. Antron Winfield gets the defense going in Wake Forest with 29, and it is Mr. Consistency, the Yeti, Derrick Henry, with 25 of his own. And that stunts Devontae Achane's 25 points that he puts in, and it stops Wake Forest as the Wampus Cats get a much-needed win to keep in control of their playoff destiny as they beat the Lumberjacks 249-223.
All right, next up, we go to the Cross Vegas Gamblers traveling to the Elkview River Rats. Gamblers come out as expected with getting lackluster performances from every single person on their team. Never a good sign when Jack Gibbons, Titans linebacker for those of you at home, leads the team with 19 points. The River Rats season may be over, but that's not stopping the Rats from fighting strong as Geno Smith, Chuba Hubbard, Christian Watson, Evan Ingram, and Jordan Love all score over 22 points. River Rats take this one easily, winning 280-188. River Rats now 5-8. Gamblers fall to 4-9.
All right, we head to the Commission's homeland of South Hills, where the Evil Empire take on your Nakati Zen Masters. Jamar Chase with you in the stands puts up a 75-yard hot dog at the end touchdown. And Trevor Lawrence leads the way for the Zen Masters with 27 in a ankle-losing effort. But you try to keep it going with Taysom Hill still going strong in that tight end slot with 17. But on Sunday night, Jalen Hurts just pushes his way with 25, and the Evil Empire get the victory with 226 to a whopping 162 for Nakati. They're already in golf cart vacation mode.
Bye weeks, everyone. Just remember the bye weeks. Anyway, next we go to the Roxalana Renegades, traveling to Marmette to take on the Midnight Riders. The Roxalana Renegades, I saw it in person too. Joe Mixon is still alive with 29.7 points, leading the team. followed by Van Ginkel. That's how you say his name, Ginkel, for the
yes.
Dolphins, scoring 24 points, along with Tua. Tua non-nation continue to be strong for the Renegades with 21 points. But the Midnight Riders get a monster performance from Deebo Samuel and another Dolphin player, Tyreek Hill. This big matchup before the playoffs shows the Midnight Riders getting the victory, 229 to 219. Midnight Riders are now 10-3. I don't know if that seals up anything.
They got it sealed.
What did?
They got to buy it sealed.
Oh, and the Renegades fall to 7-6, possibly going to be out of the playoffs. We shall see this coming week, though.
That's right. All right. And our game of the week, we have the Kanawha County Kings at 7-5, hosting the 8-4 Dogtown Dobermans. And it is the now elite MVP, no doubt about it. Brock Purdy leading the way with 33 points for the Kings. CeeDee Lamb on Thursday night helps contribute another 33 of his own. And it is another Dallas attack of Jake Ferguson with 20 for the Kings. Would that be enough to keep off the Dobermans? Well, Alvin Kamara pours in 29. Jake Browning gives the Kings a scare on Monday night with 28. And Mr. Consistency, Michael Pittman with 20 of his own. And it is the closest game of the week, but it is not enough as the Kings edge out the Dobermans 256 to 247. Both teams are now at 8-5. And that is it for your KDFL Week 13 results. Throw up the predictions up on the big board. And Mr. Matt Smith with a perfect week of picks. He goes 6-0, improving to a whopping 41-37 on the season. Detroit and I had identical picks, so we both went 5-1. Detroit maintains a 4-game lead. When we flip to the NFL side, Detroit misses on his luck and his dog. Matt with a push on the Chargers, winning by exactly 6 over the Patriots. And old Brett takes a commanding lead in the NFL picks with Cincinnati plus 7.5. Green Bay getting the win over Kansas City is good for 3 points. And I am happy to report the Stealing Money parlay is now over 500 and sets at 7-6 on the year. All right, back to us now. Let me just say this. You can tell it's getting late in the season. People are getting a little chippy, a little nervous. As we've been dealing with each other now for 14 weeks. KDFL feels like the tensions are getting high as we ramp up into this playoff season.
Some people scared of the 1 seed.
Some people are scared of facing the 1 and the 2 potentially. Some people are either scared of it or you're superstitious. It's one of the 2 things. Sometimes you can be a little stitious. You could be. You don't talk over my Michael Scott little stitious. How dare you? Real quick, a breakdown. We have a note from the commission's desk that I want to point out. I'm contractually bound to give these notes. And I quote from the commish, South Hills Evo Empire, Jeremy Clark Esquire. Points this year have been wild. So last year I was much better than everybody else, and the league in general was very bad in points. This year I've come down, and everybody else has shot up. Last year I was a 273 average. The next closest to me was a 235 average. This year 235 would be this year that 235 would be 9th place. It was 2nd last year. So the points, like the number 1 seed is averaging, the current number 1 seed is averaging 255 points as far as average scoring, not number 1 seed. The average scoring is averaging 255 points. And the 6th seed is averaging 244. So 11 points on average separate the number 1 scoring average team versus the number 6 scoring average team. So that right there is the argument against, not reseeding. The teams, this is the most parity going into week 14 that the KDFL has had in years, like literal
not
years.
Reseeding. That's an argument to reseed.
I said it wrong. I said a double negative. It's the argument against not reseeding. I went double negative.
It's the argument to reseed.
Right. Okay. That's an easier way to put it. If you want to be simple minded, yeah, I guess you could say it that way. If you want to,
there's just so everybody knows that it's not full of complete parity, because the 1 seed is currently beating the Zen Masters by 622 points. So,
playoff teams parity is what I'm emphasizing right now. The parity amongst
that's a difference
the
from
the 6 to 7 playoff teams.
First to last is quite a difference.
Yes. All right. Are you ready? We'll try to hit on the scenarios as we go. I have Detroit's picks here as well. But yeah, I just wanted to hit on that. Little tensions are rising. You can tell people are getting in playoff mode. A little anxieties out there. It is a serious time. You and I get to be on the outside lobbing tomatoes. So that's always a fun role to be in. What?
We get to fight for a trophy.
We get to fight for a trophy. This trophy has eluded me, and we will talk about that next week because I think I've locked up the buy for it, in the very least. All right, what did I say we were going to do? What I said we're going to do is do this smoothly because I'm good at this. So good at this that I flipped off of it. So, yep, tensions are rising. Bam, 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 bam. And box score. And we are going to now share it up. Let me know when you can see the board that has not fully loaded yet. Look at that.
Can't see it yet. There it goes.
Oh, you can see it because this is as smooth as it gets. All right.
Yeah, I'm good now.
Absolutely flawless technique. All right. First up, we have the Evil Empire and the Gamblers. Why is this matchup first? Because it has next to no ramifications for what happens in this matchup.
Yeah, this is the first week we see Justin Jefferson in the lineup.
Justin Jefferson, the payoff has happened. I'll go ahead and read off. I do have Detroit's picks. He is going with the Evil Empire. Matt, take it away with your predictions on this barn burner of a matchup.
Parody my ass looking at these projections.
I said the playoff team parity. Teams 1 through 7.
I see. I've got triggered seeing Justin Jefferson in this lineup right now. That's beautiful.
You don't see Patrick Mahomes?
I don't see that, but I see Jalen Hurts and CJ Stroud.
Yeah, all you see is QB 2 and 4 now. No big deal.
Yeah, that's it. Austin Eckler, old man Eckler, he'll be gone maybe before the season's over. There's no reason. Evil Empire, easily.
Obviously, we just want to see Justin Jefferson and what he does when he comes back. I don't want to see a single point besides Ritter's, I guess, that the Gamblers score. It started to just a rivalry of hatred for having to watch this fantasy football team. Give me the Gamblers on my screen. But give me the Evil Empire getting the win. All right. Now, Detroit, out of fear of this matchup, is why he is not here this week. He said, I want to be brave, but I just can't do it. Please accept my absence. And I graciously did accept. But we have the River Rats and the Zen Masters. Detroit shockingly picks the River Rats to get the win. I don't think this has any ramifications whatsoever as well, right?
I don't know. I might be losing my first pick overall in the second round if I win this. I don't think so. It comes down to points. If
the Mega Powers lose and the Elk River Rats win, I believe I then fall out of the bye week for the consolation tournament. The Golden.
I think I'm last, no matter what, based on points and everything. But so good.
River Rats would have the tiebreak.
Guaranteed. I just think it's funny looking at my roster versus the River Rats and the Gamblers, and I'm still by far the worst team in the league. It blows my mind. Zen Masters winning this. Look at it. It's not even close. I mean, look at that second QB. I can't wait to see what he does this week.
The legend.
The legend.
Jameis in the lineup. One thing I'm interested in, and I want to say that this is real. Yeah, he's had a good back-to-back. He's had back-to-back double-digit games. That's Jonathan Mingo.
Yeah, that's right.
So I want to see if he can
Those
keep that. Yeah, if he can keep that
10
going
targets.
at all. Now there's going to be a theme in this week's picks because I guess next week we'll have the full slate of picks still with the consolation tournament and the playoffs. No, because we'll have two teams on bye, so we'll have one less game to pick. We'll only have 5 games to pick next. No, because the consolation tournament will have a bye, so we'll only have 4 games to pick next week. So because of that, I'm 4 games behind Detroit. I got to make up some ground. Give me those Zen Masters getting the win. All right. Next, we're going to have now the Mega Powers, winners of 6 of the last 7, as you stated, taking on the Lumberjacks. Detroit has went Mega Powers in this one, completing the greatest run to finish 500 that this league has ever seen. Matt, take it away.
What has happened to Jerome Ford? I saw the last game he had 9 carries. God, I can't even draw a blank. Who's their other Kareem Hunt?
Yeah.
Had more rushes than him last game. Pacheco went off, so yeah, look at that. He's not running at all the past 3 weeks. 12, 9, and 9.
That game turned into a little bit bigger of a points than we all thought it would be as well. So I don't know if he got scripted out.
The Cardinals are on bye. There's 2 teams on bye this week. Back to the stupid bye week. 6 teams
yes,
last
there are
week.
2 teams on bye.
You couldn't have Washington done 4 on 4. NFL.
Washington and Arizona.
They couldn't have done 4 last week and 4 this week.
It is criminal to have bye weeks in week 14. It is awful.
It is stupid. But, make it consistent. It should not be 6.
Right.
4 and 4. Good to go. I love it, Joe Flacco. I had Joe Flacco on my team a week ago, and I dropped him for somebody terrible. I don't know who it was.
Dude, you're talking to 2 guys who are starting Joe Flacco and Jameis Winston. Like, what's there not to love?
It's true. Exactly. Although the other team, the Lumberjacks, have Josh Dobbs as their one and only QB.
Right. I wish Detroit was here. He'd be in the blender with Dobbs in the QB and Dobbs in the offensive player position with Romeo and Josh.
Oh, yeah.
Brain would explode.
Mega Powers are staying hot. Keeping with them.
Look, it can pretty much goes without saying you're not going to beat a Flacco Jerome Ford stack. Like, it's just not a thing that happens. It's too elite of a stack. You guys could keep your Mahomes and Kelce's, your Purdy's and Ayuk's, whatever. Give me Jerome Ford and give me the Joe Flacco stack. Mega Powers are going to get the W and finish 7-7. Now, they do have technically a playoff scenario in the Mega Powers. The only one I know of for sure is the Wampus Cats lose, the Renegades lose, Mega Powers win, and I have to outscore the Renegades by 91 points, and I have to outscore the Wampus Cats by 80. Or the Wampus Cats can't outscore me by more than 3. I'm currently ahead of them on points. That is the only one I know for sure would get me in. And then there's just the outside prayer that ESPN has changed how they do 3-way ties when 2 of the teams have beat the other one. But I don't see that. We pretty much agree that's not happening. So that's the outside chance for the Mega Powers. All right, let's get into the actual meat and potatoes. The Dobermans hosting the Midnight Riders. Detroit has went with the Midnight Riders getting the win. One thing I want to check on is I believe the Midnight Riders beat the Sinners head-to-head. I need to check on this. So while you give your takes on this game, why don't you go through that and I'll find that out because it matters.
This is close stuff. Playoff projection game or potential playoff game right here. Both teams are stacked. Looking at it,
depends on how they're seeded.
Yeah, it depends on the seeding. God, this seeding is going to screw somebody. I know that much. That's all I know this year. The seeding will screw somebody.
It's almost guaranteed to happen.
Whether we reseed or don't reseed, somebody's getting screwed.
It's almost impossible not to happen.
The running backs for the Dobermans are ridiculous with Kamara and CMC. Kamara has been traded 10 times in the past 3 years in this league, but the guy just continues to produce. What's Jake Browning going to do for against the Colts? He looked great in Jacksonville last week. Can he continue that? Damn, he's going to have to for the Dobermans to have a chance. Chiefs and Bills shootout for Josh Allen. I don't know. The games have not been high scoring for the Chiefs, it seems like. But then again, of course, the wide receivers from the Midnight Riders, Devo Keenan. Keenan, what is he? Top 6 player in the league this year?
Yeah.
Who would have thought? Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams. Give me. I'm assuming you guys are picking the Midnight Riders. Give me the Dogtown Dobermans to get the victory.
Okay. All right. Just a real quick breakdown. The Sinners did beat the Midnight Riders. So if the Midnight Riders were to lose and the Sinners win, that would flip flop the 1 and 2 seed. So they both get the bye, but again, that could end up mattering. Famous reseeding. Detroit picked the Midnight Riders, like I said. I'm looking at this. I want to see. I'm kind of invested in Pittman now. I'm loving this round. I'm loving the consistency. I want to see him keep going. So let me get that. Let me get also focus on Calvin Ridley versus the Browns secondary. And I got to get different than Detroit. So let me take the Dobermans getting the win and causing a little more chaos. All right. Let me get yours. Okay. All right. And next up, this is a big one with the Wampus Cats taking on the Sinners. Again, we just mentioned that the Sinners are playing for a potential 1 seed with a win and the Midnight Riders loss. Detroit has gone with the Wampus Cats getting the win. What say you, Matt Smith?
How's good old Ezekiel Elliott going to do? He's RB1 for the Pats now, right?
Yeah, I don't like the matchup against Pittsburgh, but
Rashid Shaheed's back, I guess. I know he was a question why he was out last week. Gosh. Good old Gardner. Again, I'll say it every week. I don't like the Sinners team. I don't like them. Wampus Cats. Good old AJ Brown and Monroe. I mean, his receivers are almost up there with the Midnight Riders receivers.
I'm loving this thinking out loud process right now we're doing.
I know. Thoughts on Will Levis? Will Levis is going to come through, do all right against the Dolphins. I'm taking the Wampus Cats.
We got there.
Yep.
All right. Closest matchup of the week. And you did nail it. I want to see what Zeke does in that role. Pollard has not lived up to expectations, but he has been okay. He hasn't been what we thought he'd be. We thought he'd be an elite top 5 type of running back, but it's running back 12 on the year. Now, one thing I'm looking at on the Sinners, the last week they scored okay, 239. Week before that, 290. Week before that, 220. So they kind of ebb and flow. I think this is a week that they pick up the points quite a bit, and I am getting them the win over the Wampus Cats. All right. So our final game of the week. We've been in this division for the last 4 or 5 weeks, I want to say, because of how good this division has been, how close these games are. And I was wrong. I thought the last matchup was the closest projection. This one's 0.2. So it is our final game of the KDFL regular season. The 7-6 Renegades taking on the 8-5 Kanawha County Kings. Detroit is going with the Renegades to get the win. Matt, what say you?
I've been taking the Kings, I think, for the past so many weeks. It's been working out all right for me. Travis Etienne, how's he going to do against the Browns? What's Travis Etienne's stats the past few weeks? I know he scored a touchdown, but I know he had the huge.
He's been off. He had 2 bad weeks, and now he's been okay. He had a touchdown last week, so 13 and then 18. Yeah.
Because of the touchdown. Yeah, okay.
4 for 34.
See how Etienne does without Trevor. There's no way Trevor plays this week. See how he does this week against the Browns. I don't love that matchup. I don't love the Jags in general this week. Jacobs has been playing much better. Olave's been playing much better too. And then I guess the line, it always comes down to the lines for the Renegades. Lions versus the Bears. Will they need to score a lot? I don't know, probably against Justin Fields. Another super close one, but I'm staying with the King. King's got it.
All right. The Matt Smith late night when we're getting towards the end.
Yeah.
The predictions.
Yeah.
Late night. It's early Thursday morning. What are we talking about? Yeah, early Thursday. Yeah.
I haven't had my coffee yet.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this. There's a lot of question marks for the Kings. Okay. I want to see what happens with Purdy if they are they're big favorites against the Seahawks. They're like 10.5-point favorites. So if he has to if he gets the opportunity to lay off the gas when the Kings need him to push, that could be a little bit of a concern. Addison with Jefferson back. We're going to see if Josh Dobbs can support those two. It's the first game with both of them back. But I do think CeeDee Lamb is just going to terrorize that Eagles secondary. So, and also to go away from Detroit, give me the Kings to get the W in our final prediction of the KDFL season. So it's going to be a lot of moving and shaking in these playoffs to see who gets in. The Wampus Cats getting a W, basically, I believe, all but guarantees them in. Not if the Renegades win. If the Renegades win, they'd still be. Oh, wait. Here we go. Live with you guys here. Because the Wampus Cats are 7-6. It's 3-way 8-6. Wampus Cats would have the tiebreaker over both of them. Yeah, Wampus Cats are 7-6. They get a win, they're in. They win, they're in. And if the Renegades win, I think that's the scenario where the Kings are out.
Go to the standings for a second.
All right. Well, the computer is absolutely crawling right now. It's begging for mercy.
The Mega Power Wi-Fi. Okay.
It all depends on the Dobermans as well, because then they fall to 8-6.
So everyone is eliminated except for you.
8%, baby.
So basically, if they all win, they're all in.
Not really, because if they all win, well, they all can't win. The Kings and Renegades both can't win. They are playing each other. I want to see the scenario.
You can't match the Kings or Dobermans. So they're in. How are they not in already?
They're not in already. You take the Mega Powers out of your figuring. They're not. That's not real. Okay, take them out. Here's the deal. Kings lose to the Renegades. You have the Kings, the Dobermans, the Wampus Cats, Kings, Dobermans, Wampus Cats, and Renegades, all at 8-6.
Yeah, and they're all in.
Midnight Riders, Evil Empire, and Sinners. You just put 7 teams in the playoffs.
Oh, Evil Empire. I wasn't looking at the Evil Empire.
Yeah. So
1, 2.
That's the fun scenario. 4 teams being 8-6.
Kings and Dobermans win, they're in.
Yes.
And then, it comes.
If the Kings win, the Renegades drop to 7-7, and if the Kings lose, I think the Kings are out. Or not? Sorry, Renegades. I'm saying Kings. If the Kings lose, the Kings are out because the Wampus Cats can lose. They have the tiebreaker versus them. Or I can't believe I ever skipped this. The Renegades can still get in the scenario I talked about that I think leaves me out. That's why I told the Renegades if they're losing, they better throw in that red and yellow. That's all I'm saying. Because if you get a 3-way tie with the Wampus Cats, the Mega Powers, and the Renegades, assuming I don't catch the 91 point whatever deficit this is. Is it 98 points now? Yeah, it's a 98 point deficit. Assuming, oh no, it's not. Okay, shut up. Assuming I don't catch this big point deficit. You'll go to a 3-way tie at 7-7. Now, the irony is both the Wampus Cats and the Mega Powers beat the Renegades, but the Wampus Cats and Mega Powers split. So I think that brings points into the equation, which will give it to the Renegades.
Based on percentages, the Renegades and the Mega Powers are out. which is close for the Wampus Cats.
Add up the Mega Powers and Renegades percentages. 59, which is whose percentage? The Wampus Cats.
The Wampus Cats, yeah.
I don't know if that means anything. I just came up with that right there. But yeah, that's the only scenario the Renegades that we think, if it holds true to how it's been in the past, the only scenario the Renegades get in with a loss is Wampus Cats also lose, obviously, and the Mega Powers win, and the Renegades hold on to a big point lead. It's fun stuff. I love this stuff. It's that time of year.
When you're out of it, you don't have to think about it.
I mean, allegedly a little tired of being out of it, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah. All right. Detroit says I suck, and as far as his locks of the week, he's going with the Vikings, +3 against the Vikings, and he is. Did I say Vikings against the Vikings? Going with Las Vegas Raiders +3 versus the Vikings, and he's going with the Giants getting the outright win over Green Bay. And it's probably a good time that we put it back on our beautiful faces and stop the sharing. Yes. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, so that's Detroit. Now, do you have a beautiful quote for us and some picks?
I do. This is a bad week for me. Trevor Lawrence and Derek Carr both dying, getting hurt on the field. So a few little quotes. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. And also, pain is certain, suffering is optional. So there you go. Just remember that, people. If you do get injured, remember those quotes. Locks of the week. Eagles to beat the Cowboys. Is the upset ridiculous that they are +3 against the Cowboys? It's stupid. And then the 49ers are going to come back down to earth a little bit. Seahawks +10.5 against the 49ers. 10.5 spread. Crazy. Seahawks are not a bad team.
Right. All right. Looking at mine, I have for my lock, I have the Bears getting 3 at home versus Detroit. Originally, I didn't see how there's any way that the Bears could cover this number. Teams should start giving up around this time of the year. You should start seeing a lot of the have and have nots. But I did remember Detroit actually himself reminded me that Justin Fields goes nuts on the Lions every time they play. And last time they played in Detroit, the Lions had to come back and steal the W. And as far as my upset, I don't know why I'm such a Ravens hater. I don't know how this happened, but I'm going with the Rams to get the outright win over Baltimore. That's worth 4 points if it happens. And the Steal a Money Parlay to try to go 2 games over 500. Let me get the Patriots +14.5 in Pittsburgh on Thursday. I don't see no way a team gets too far away in that one. Give me the Niners money line. And then let me tease that Eagles-Dallas game, another divisional matchup that I don't see how it can get too far out of hand. Give me them +13.5. Bundled up, -144. All right. As always, follow the KDFL podcast at KDFL podcast on Twitter /X. Like and subscribe this YouTube video if you wish to follow along with the action on Sunday. The link to the league is in the YouTube description. That's it. So for Jonathan Detroit Haynes, for Zinfo Matt Smith, I'm Brett Steele, and we will see you here next week for KDFL Playoffs Round 1 and end of season results right here again on the KDFL Dynasty Football Podcast.